Gyms are reopening all across the country, but are they safe? In this episode of Total Body Training, I give you my opinion about this topic, and I give you 6 tips or things to consider before going back to the gym. Welcome back to Total Body Training. I'm John Carlos, and if you haven't already subscribed to my YouTube channel, please click the subscribe button. On this channel, we go over fitness tips, trends, and tutorials to help you stay informed and get in shape. On with the video. Right now, we are still dealing with Mr. C. If you don't know what Mr. C is, it's the code word that we use here for, and I don't use that word on my channel because I could face demonetization. Because of Mr. C, gyms had to close down for a couple of months, and now finally gyms are starting to reopen. But it looks like there is a resurgence of Mr. C going all across the country right now in July of 2020. It leaves a lot of us feeling like, should I go back to the gym? Should I not go back to the gym? And I'm gonna give you 6 suggestions for what I think you should consider. Remember, I am not a doctor, I'm not a nurse, I don't have a medical degree. I am a gym owner, so maybe I have some kind of a bias when I'm talking about this conversation. These are just some tips that I found online that I thought were helpful. Let's go ahead and get started. Tip number 1, consider personal risk. If you are one of the high risk categories, meaning somebody who's in an elderly age or somebody who has a respiratory problem or a pre-existing health related issue, the CDC and several other organizations have suggested that you try your best to limit your exposure to other people. So, is it worth you going out to a gym right now, considering that right now we're going through another wave of people catching Mr. C and people getting sick? Is it worth it to yourself? Now, maybe you're not a person who's in that population. Maybe you live with somebody who's in that population. Maybe you live with your grandparents, or you live with your mom or your dad or your spouse or your partner has some kind of respiratory issue, some kind of heart issue. Could this potentially be too big of a personal risk for you to go out and possibly bring that home to other people? And that's just something that I think you have to decide for yourself, and you have to think about and maybe talk about with the people in your life. It doesn't mean that you can't go out and be careful, but that's a separate tip and we'll get to that. Number 2, are you in a hotspot state or city? In the news, they've been talking a lot about places that are getting hit again during the second wave. And there are some cities that have came to the top of the list. San Antonio, where I live, is one of those cities. Other places in Texas, other places in California and in Miami are also on that list. So if you're in one of those places, this goes back to the risk that's associated. Is it worth it for you, or do you feel comfortable thinking that maybe you could get sick considering your own risks, or that you could possibly get someone else sick in your own family? It's just something to take into consideration. Maybe wait until your city or your state isn't a hotspot city or state. There are counties and places around the United States that don't have as high numbers as, say, San Antonio, where I live. So if you're in one of those places, then maybe this rule doesn't have to matter to you as much, or this tip doesn't have to matter to you as much as it does to people who live in those places. So just consider, if you are in a place that is a hotspot, whether or not it is too high of a risk for you and your family. Number 3, consider the proactiveness of your gym. How invested is the gym that you go to in keeping you and your population at the gym safe? I've broken this down into sub-points, and I'm gonna read them off and talk about them. The first one is, make sure they are following the minimum health standards of your state. Each state has a set of minimum health standards. Unfortunately, because the federal government didn't pass down specific rules for how each state and how each municipality and how each city should handle this, every state and every city is handling it just a little bit different than the other state or city. And that's created a whole series of issues. We're not gonna talk about that there because that gets into politics, but let's just say that it's been a real mess. And what you're gonna wanna do is Google the state that you're in and look up minimum health requirements for gyms in Texas, minimum health requirements for gym in California, minimum health requirements for gyms in XY, wherever, whatever state you're in, Hawaii, whatever. And then call your local gym to see if they are following that. I live here in Texas. This is the minimum health standard that we have here, and I am following that to a T. However, I know for a fact that some gyms in my area are not following that, because I follow y'all on Instagram. and I can see that you're not following certain rules. There are fines. They're fining people thousands of dollars for not following those rules. So it could really affect those local gyms. Now, I think this is less of an issue if you're going to a corporate gym, but if you're going to local gyms, they may or may not really be following it. It's definitely been the case here in San Antonio, Texas. Although I'm not gonna be the one to call the cops on anybody about that. The next sub point is make sure that they're enforcing the guidelines with the patrons of the gym and the staff. We've all been in the store and seen someone who's wearing their mask under their nose like this, or people who have it above their mouth, or people who are taking their phone and talking on it and swigging soda while they're walking around in the store, not really committing to wearing the mask for that short duration of time that they're inside of the store. And that is what you're gonna wanna watch for at a gym. You're gonna wanna see, are the staff members telling people to stop doing that stuff when they're wearing their masks? Or are they telling people, if you've got a glove policy here in San Antonio, we've got a glove policy, to continue to wear their masks? Making sure that the patrons of the gym are following the rules is part of how we keep people safe. Also, making sure that staff members are following it, and it will keep people safe as well. The next sub point is make sure that they're providing people with hand sanitizers and other basic cleaning supplies. This is less of an issue on the corporate level, as I was saying before, as there's more money and there's more investment. There are more corporate eyes watching and making sure that places are clean. But if you're on the local level, your gym may or may not have ever had hand sanitizer. I, for one, never had it before. We would just clean things up. But now I do have it because I think it's important for me so that I don't get sick, but also so that other people that are there can clean off their hands a little bit before entering and before leaving your facility. So just make sure that they're going into the effort of bringing in the things that keep y'all safer when you're there. Next tip, placing equipment at least 6 feet apart. The CDC has suggested that keeping a minimum of 6 or more feet away from people will help in reducing the spread of Mr. C. So you're gonna wanna find a gym that's gone through the trouble of moving around gym equipment so that it's not crammed up and you're working out just 1 or 2 feet away from someone. Same thing if you go to a gym where there are treadmills, you wanna make sure that they've either spaced the treadmills out more, or maybe they've made it so that you can't work out next to another person. Maybe they're split up by 1 or 2 treadmills. In fact, that's what a lot of the corporate gyms are doing, and I would hope that local gyms are doing that as well. I'm doing that at my gym right now. I've moved around lots of equipment and actually removed one of our squat racks so that people could really be 6 or more feet apart from each other. Tip number 4, consider the personal character of the gym owner. Ooh, this one might piss a few people off. On the corporate level, you've got gyms like Gold's, Planet Fitness, LA Fitness. All of these places have came out with some kind of statement talking about how they want to make their place safer for their clients. And however, on the local level or on the franchise level, the opinions of the owner of those gyms might affect how they run their facility. Let's say the owner of the gym believes in conspiracy theories. He's posting things about how Mr. C isn't real, or how it doesn't affect people, and how he believes in herd immunity, or how he thinks that it was created in a laboratory, or some kind of crazy concoction of things that there are people out there that believe. Or he doesn't believe in wearing a mask, or he thinks that it goes against his rights to wear a mask. That might be a reason for you not to attend that gym. Because if the person doesn't even believe in the thing, if the gym owner doesn't even believe in the severity of Mr. C, then he might not be running the place correctly, and he might be bringing that down to his staff. Now, that's not 100% the case, but I think it's worth checking out the person's Facebook page, the owner of the gym, the local gym that you attend, their Facebook page or their Twitter account, to see if they're posting any of these things or if they're talking about it. I certainly wouldn't want to go somewhere where I feel like they're not doing that. And question of the day: do you feel confident going back to working out in your gym? Let me know down in the comments section below. And if you don't, let me know about that. I'd like to know more about what you have to say. I try my best to answer each and every comment that comes my way. All right, people, if you have not yet subscribed to my YouTube channel and you just watched this whole video, what are you doing? Hit the subscribe button and hit the little bell so you'll never miss out on another video. Until next time, peace. Working out from home can be boring. Whether it's the fact that you don't have proper weightlifting equipment, or you're sick and tired of using pre-recorded workout videos that lack motivation and proper instruction that is geared towards you. If you find yourself in one of those categories, look no further than Total Body Training. We've got you covered with our online weightlifting from home program. That's right, we teach you in a virtual classroom how to work out and lift weights for you at your current level and where you want to be at in the next 6, 12 months. Where do you want to be at by the end of this year? We've got you covered with our online weightlifting program. So if you're interested, read the description section of this video to learn more about how you can start lifting weights from home with us today.